Hello, I'm Paul Lees. I'm the Chief Executive of the Adactus Housing Group. I'd like to welcome you to our first presentation on events at the recent board meetings. There were a number of significant items on the agenda at each board meeting. One of the most important was about resident involvement. The group agreed over the past 12 months that resident involvement needed to be reviewed, and various market research has been done which showed that tenants generally did not want to come to meetings and they would like to be involved using different means. So if you go to our website, you can see a paper that gives full details of how resident involvement will be undertaken at the group in the future. Second and very important issue that was discussed at the group was the rent increase, and it was decided that the group would stick to the rent formula set by the government, which means that rents will increase by RPI plus 0.5% as from April the 1st. Another major issue discussed at the Adactus Housing Association meeting was the signing off of the Audit Commission's inspection plan. The major part of this that needed to be reviewed was a market test of the direct labour organisation, which had been undertaken by a consultant. The consultant presented to the meeting and showed that the DLO was fit for purpose and was good value for money. Another major issue discussed at boards was a housing management reorganisation. There was a feeling that housing management needed to be embedded more generally inside the group, and therefore housing management functions will be split between the other heads of service. So the Deputy Chief Executive, Hilary Roberts, will become responsible for regeneration and neighbourhoods. The Company Secretary and Group Director of Corporate Services, Brian Moran, will become responsible for tenancy enforcement and antisocial behaviour. Paul Chisnell, the Group Director of Finance, will become responsible for rent and rent arrears. And the Director of Asset Management, Andy Marshall, will become responsible for voids and lettings. I will be responsible for complaints, and complaints have been centralised under Aid Felton and Ruth Mycock. Another important issue discussed at the boards was the pay award for staff as from April 2011. As we know, times are tough, but the board agreed that staff should be given a pay award of less than inflation at 3%. The board took into consideration when making this decision that over the past 2 years staff had got less than inflation rises of 1% for 2 years, which if you roll those up are roughly 5% over 3 years, or 1.66% per annum, which is less than inflation has been running. The board took into consideration when making a decision the changes that have been made at the group and the extra effort that staff have put in over the past 12 months to make the efficiency gains that we've made. Another major issue that was discussed at board was office provision. The offices at Turner House in Lee are now getting quite full, and the board agreed that plans should go forward to extend the offices, and this would mean the purchase and demolition of properties close by and the rebuilding. At Chorley, the current offices at Gillibrand Street, the lease on those expires in March 2012, and the board agreed that we should negotiate with Chorley Borough Council to either extend the lease or buy that building if possible, and those discussions are ongoing. So to finish, if you would like further details on any of the matters that I've briefly outlined to you, I would advise you to go to www.adactushousing.co.uk. Thank you.